Okay, we are getting set up here on this 15th day of January 2003. We're at the Mart Lanes. This is Calvin Chastain. We're here for CVAC varsity bowling, featuring the home team, Northeastern Clinton, and the visitors, the Saranac Central Chiefs. This is Harsh for Saranac. First two bowlers for the Cougars, we had James Tierney with a strike and Jeremy Ballard with a spare. Bryce Gadway up now for the Cougars. As we're taping this, Northeastern is leading the pack. Northeastern boys and girls are both in first place in the CVAC. Harsh will pick up his spare and Gadway will miss his. Now bring up Laramie. Let's see, reading their shirts here. Laramie and Alan Mavor. The Saranac roster will have it shortly. It's 9 pins on the first ball for Laramie. Now Mavor up. Northeastern in first place. Saranac Chiefs are in 6th place in boys competition. Mabor with the strike. On the girls' side, Northeastern's in 1st and Saranac's in 7th place. Northeastern 47 and 25 in the boys. 2 games ahead of Ausable Valley as Adam Chipola bowls his first ball of the game and picks off 9 pins. Now McDaniel for the Chiefs. And he strikes. Ausable Valley, as we're taping this, is in 2nd. Mariah, Peru, PHS, Saranac, Chipola spares. Then Beekmantown, and then Ticonderoga. In the girls, it's Northeastern, Ausable, and Beekmantown are tied, 3 games behind. This is Renadette. And he's going to strike. Let's see, Ausable and Beekmantown are tied for 2nd. It's behind Northeastern. Then it's Peru, Plattsburgh, Ticonderoga, Saranac, and Mariah. Jarvis gets 9 pins. He was working on an open. Here's Tierney. And these guys are in the 2nd frame. Tierney leaves. Oh, gets a late drop. And he gets the strike. That gives Tierney a double, I believe, or was yes, a double for Tierney to start the match. Jarvis needs to pick up the 7 pin. Ballard bowling on lane number 12. Here's Jarvis on lane 11. Looks like he's going to hook and miss it, and he does. And Ballard will just avoids a split. Leaves a 10 pin, but he almost had a split there. Averages as Harsh steps up for Saranac. Harsh will strike. And here's Ballard going for his spare, going after the 10. Looks like he's got it covered, yes. Just barely hung on, just before it went in the gutter. The 10 pin went down. Adam Chipola leads the Cougars with a 204 average. Here's Laramie. And Laramie strikes. Saranac bowling very well here. And Gadway leads the 10 pin. Chipola 204 average, followed by James Tierney's 195. Alan Mavor has a 187. Bryce Gadway a 168. And Jeremy Ballard a 163. That's the A team. Gadway picks up his spare. And that was McDaniel, I guess, who just struck. That's 3 strikes in a row for Saranac. Renadette working on a strike is up in the 2nd, and Mavor waiting to bowl for the Cougars. Looks like he got 7 pins in his first ball. Mabor working on a strike. The averages for the Saranac boys as Mabor strikes for the Cougars. Brent Jarvis carries a 148. Dennis Harsh, a 152. Josh Laramie, a 152. Kenny McDaniel, 8 for the frame for Renadette. Kenny McDaniel carries a 167. And the top bowler is Chris Renadette with a 171. Here's Chipola. And Chucker Chipola leaves probably the 6 pin. Here's Tierney starting the 3rd frame. And Tierney, he knows, he's excited. He's excited. He's excited. He knows he has a chance to pick up the 7-10 split here on Hometown Cable. So he's excited about that. Chipola misses his spare. Here's Tierney. He's excited about this. He just lives for these splits. Oh, not this time. Not this time. Okay, at this point in the match, it's 290 to 215. Saranac with the lead. A lot of that based on their handicap, but also they've been bowling quite well. Jarvis leaves the 10 pin as he starts the 3rd. Here's Ballard, and Ballard will strike for the Cougars. Being on the A team, has got Ballard bowling hot tonight. Well, Jarvis misses his spare. And we have Gadway set to bowl for the Cougars in the 3rd. And leaves the 7 pin. Now here's Harsh. And Harsh will go Brooklyn and leave the head pin. All except number 1. There's Gadway. He's got 2 opens. He's had 2 9-pin frames. He's looking to get his first mark, and he will pick it up. I thought he had spared last time, but apparently they said the ball left the alley before hitting the pin. I didn't think so. I thought that ball was hanging on the lip of the gutter. And Mabor with a strike. Alan Mabor has started the game with a triple. Here's Laramie. And Laramie picks off 8 pins on his first ball in the 3rd. Laramie was working on a strike. That's Josh Laramie. Here's Chucker Chipola, and Chipola strikes after getting that open in the 2nd frame. There's Laramie. He'll pick up his spare. That'll bring up Jarvis to start the 4th for Saranac as McDaniel bowls for the Chiefs in the 3rd on lane 10, lane 12. I have a pin down on lane 12, so they'll reset it. Strike for Jarvis. That's his first mark. Our score through 3, 294 to 339. A 45-pin lead for Saranac. And the wait was worth it for McDaniel. He gets the strike. I'll get Harsh to his feet.
All right. You keep your ears open.
This is Renadette. And Renadette picks off 6. There's Harsh, and Harsh right in the center leaves the 6 pin.
Stay right there.
Renadette with a split of sorts. It's a doable split because he can send one over to the pick off the 7, but no. 7 stays. Here's Harsh, and he'll miss his spare. Yanked it to the left. That'll bring up Tierney. Tierney had 2 strikes, then he had that open on the split. 7-10 split. Looking to get back in the groove, and he picks them all off. It's a strike for Tierney. Late drop on the 10. Now Laramie, and Laramie gets 7 on his first ball. Busy day in hometown cable land when I leave here. I have to rush down to Peru. Leave here at the Mart in Rouse's Point, go to Peru for high school wrestling. Northern Adirondack at Peru. And Laramie covers it. And a good time to remind everybody out there that nobody is paying us to do this except the viewers who care enough, as Ballard misses the head pin. The viewers who care enough to send in their voluntary support on an annual basis make this programming coming. That's it. We pay the cable company up here in the Northern Tier to be on the air. And we don't have to pay in Plattsburgh, and we don't have to pay in Malone, but those are public access channels. In Champlain, we have a leased access channel that we are able to control, but only if we send them the money every month. So we need viewer support throughout the North Country. It takes a lot of time and effort to put these programs on the charter system. And we need to hear from the viewers in the Saranac, the bowling fans. Mavor with a strike. That's 4 in a row for Mavor. Here's Renadette, and Renadette leaves a split. 3 on one side, 2 on the other. There's Chipola. And Chipola gets 7 on his first ball. It's a tough spare here, but a doable one for Renadette. Anchor bowler for Saranac. Chipola, the anchor bowler for the Cougars. Goes to the left. Almost worked. Gave it a nice try. Chipola gets 9 for the frame. So through 4, 390 to 471. Peru has increased their spread to 71 pins now. Excuse me, Saranac has increased their spread to 71 pins. Tierney with the strike. Here's Jarvis. He strikes to start the 5th frame. So Tierney with 4 strikes and a split. Here's Ballard. Ballard leaves the 10 pin. Northeastern had 3 marks in the 4th, and Peru had 3 marks also. Excuse me, I keep saying Peru. I'm heading for Peru after today's game, but it's Saranac. Bear with me if I say Peru. I've got that long drive here when I get done from Rouse's Point to Peru when I finish here, so bear with me, but it's Saranac here. It's not blue, that's red on their shirts. Here's Harsh. He misses the back pin, the double wood. Now Gadway. And Gadway's going to go Brooklyn and leave a 1-3-5, I think, or 6, no, 5. 1, 2, 3. Let's see, that must be the 1-3-6 that he left. But he covered it, whatever it was. Mavor, who's got 4 in a row, waiting patiently. Laramie waiting for his ball. There's Mavor, and the string is over. He leaves the 3-6-10. Meanwhile, Laramie has his ball back. Here's Mavor, and he will pick it up, just barely getting that 3. Just barely nudging the 3-pin. Laramie with the spare. And let's see, it's 5th frame. 4:67 at the moment for the Cougars, 5:09 for Peru. Here's Chipola, he's working on an open. And he gets a strike. McDaniel, he strikes. So Kenny McDaniel, it's at least 3 strikes for him. There's Jarvis. Jarvis hooks and comes in right in the pocket and gets the strike. Meanwhile, Renadette, that's a triple for Jarvis. Here's Renadette finishing up the 5th. Leaves the 10-pin. Now Harsh up for Saranac. He's had a couple of opens. Says, why can't I do that every time? And there's Renadette. He's going to go in the gutter. If you got a hook, those, and you're right-handed, those 10 pins are a real problem. There's Laramie. Laramie strikes. Saranac keeping the pressure on the Cougars. Here's Tierney. Tierney gets 7 on his first ball, has a 3-pin standing there, double wood with the 2-8 probably. We'll see. Doesn't get the back pin. Well, Jeremy Ballard up for Northeastern. Little back action, ends up getting 7. McDaniel up for the Chiefs. They've got 3 strikes so far in the 6th frame. Ballard will leave the back pin on that double wood. There's McDaniel looking for 4 in a row for Saranac, but it's not going to happen. The 10 pin stays there. McDaniel was working on a strike. Here's Gadway. And Gadway gets 9 pins. I believe that's the 8 he left. And McDaniel picks up his spare. Gadway spares. Renadette up now for the Chiefs. Everybody is marked in the 6th for Saranac. He gets, looks like 7 pins. Now Mavor for Northeastern. Mavor gets the 10 to fall, and he gets the strike. Now Renadette. Everybody is marked thus far for Saranac in the 6th, and Renadette keeps it going. 5 marks. Actually, I guess they call it 6 marks because of the triple Chipola doubles. And the Cougars pick up 3 marks, 4 if you count the double, I guess. Here's Tierney. Tierney gets 7 pins. He's got a double wood up there. Here's Jarvis. Jarvis working on a triple. Gets 8 on his first ball. And Tierney will get the back pins. Well, Tierney picks up the spare. It's stymied some of the other bowlers so far. And Jarvis, he's not quite sure how that happened, but he missed them all. Here's Ballard. There's Harsh. Harsh gets 5 pins. Nice spare by Ballard. Taking out that 10 pin. Harsh, with just 5 on his first ball, has a doable spare here. But he left one. There's Gadway. Gadway strikes. I'll bring up Laramie. 6:53 for Saranac, 5:87 through the 6th for the Cougars. There's Laramie. Lee gets 9 on his first ball. Laramie working on a strike. Mavor. He's working on a strike. And he doubles.
Jeremy, Mavor. Jeremy.
Laramie. Laramie spares.
They're falling, right?
Now Chipola working on a double. You can pick up a couple extra pins here with a triple, but no. Picks off 5. On his first ball, here's McDaniel. He curves to the left and gets a lot of drop for 7 pins. Here's Chipola. And he picks up the spare. Nice spare by Adam Chipola. Al McDaniel. McDaniel spares. Jarvis will lead off the 8th for Saranac. According to the scoreboard, Chipola only had 4 pins in that first ball. If the scoreboard counted it wrong, and we saw an example last time I was here where the scoreboard counted it wrong. But, a 4-6-10-7 split, and Jarvis covers his spare. The 4-7. Here's Renadette finishing off the 7th. Got a tough spare, and he's going to come right in the middle of them. Well, getting back to Chipola, as Harsh throws this one, because he was working on a double. If he got 5 instead of 4, and those 5 would have been counted twice. Instead, the 4 is counted twice. So that's a 2-pin difference. Tierney leads the 10 pin as he starts the 8th frame. Here's Harsh. and he'll pick up this spare. Now Tierney going after his, and he'll pick it up. So it's 670 to 721, 51-point lead for Saranac. As we're starting the 8th here. There's Laramie, and Laramie strikes. Now here's Ballard, and Ballard will strike for the Cougars. I think several Saranac players will be over their averages in this game, unless they fall apart. But here's Gadway, and he gets 7 on his first ball. Daniel gets 8 on his ball. Gadway will take it. Here's McDaniel, the other way. Most bowlers move. He doesn't budge. He wants to get a perfect view from where he left the ball. Mavor strikes for the Cougars. Gives him a triple. That's his second triple. I think he had a 4-bagger earlier. Now Renadette gets 6 pins. Chipola up. Chipola working on a spare. And he strikes. Renadette, last bowler in the 8th. If we get set to start the 9th. Walks away. There's Jarvis. Jarvis leads the 6-10. 795, 770. The Cougars have really gained some ground here in the 8th. Apparently Tierney gets a strike. Cougars have closed it up, according to what I'm seeing up there. And it's Jarvis with the spare. At this point on the scoreboard, with 1 bowler each gone, it's 805 to 790. Up to date, Ballard leaves a baby split. Now here's Harsh. And Harsh gets 9 on his first ball. So about a 15-pin difference. Ballard misses them both. Harsh will miss his spare. I'll bring up Gadway for the Cougars and Laramie for the Saranac Chiefs. Gadway strikes. There's Laramie, and he strikes. That gives Laramie a double. Mavor working on a triple. Leads the 10-pin. Now McDaniel. McDaniel leaves 6-10. Well, Mavor has already hit 200 before throwing a ball in the 10th. Daniel picks up his spare. Renadette up for the Chiefs. Chipola for the Cougars. Renadette strikes. Here's Chipola. Leaves that 10 pin, his nemesis. There's arch rival. There's Lex Luthor is stuck in the corner there. And right now the Cougars are ahead of the Chiefs. Chipola covers his spare. Going into the 10th, Northeastern has jumped ahead by a little bit, 871 to 875. Here's Tierney. He strikes. That gives him a double. Now Jarvis starting the 10th frame for the Chiefs. He strikes. Oh, it's going to be right down to the wire. Tierney triples. Now Jarvis. Doubles. Tierney looking to strike out in the 10th. He'll be in the 200s. And he'll be, I believe, at 210. And 210 for Tierney. And here's Jarvis. Jarvis gets 9 in his last ball. It gives him a 178. So Tierney gives a 210. Jarvis a 178. Here's Ballard. Jarvis is 178, 30 pins above his average. Tierney's 210, 15 pins above his 195 average. Harsh looking to reset it. Here's Ballard. He will cover his spare. He'll get a fill ball. That gives Ballard a 149 plus his fill. Ballard carries a 163 average, so he slowed down here. He had a couple of opens. And he gets 9 in his last ball. Gives him a 158. Here's Hirsch. He strikes. Harsh, that is not Hirsch. Harsh strikes. So 158 for Ballard. Gadway gets 9 pins in his first ball. Ballard a 163 average, so he's right around his average. Here's Harsh. Harsh has a 152 average. He gets 9 pins. So he's already beaten his average. Gadway spares. Scoreboard says 929 for Saranac. 961 for Northeastern at this point. Cougars are 1 bowler ahead of the Chiefs. Harsh picks up his spare, gives him a 163, I believe, 153, I believe. Yes, he has a 153. Gadway finishes it with a 174. So 153 for Harsh is 1 pin above his average. Here's Laramie. Gadway carries a 168 average, so his 174 is a little bit over that. Here's Mavor. Laramie has a triple. Mavor has a tough spare to pick up. He's got a nice game. It's too bad if he finishes it up with an open in the 10th. 4-bagger there for Laramie. Here's Mavor. He's going to get an open in the 10th. A disappointing finish to an excellent game. 231 for Mavor. But he was looking at Another 20 pins to go with that. And strikes out. Laramie strikes out with 5 in a row. That's going to add a bunch of points to the Chiefs side. That Laramie might have won it for his team. He gets a 226. Puts his team up 990 to 986. Cougars have only Chipola to bowl. Right there, Laramie may have just won this first game for Saranac. Here's McDaniel. It's looks like 4 pins. Here's Chipola. Chipola working on a spare, and he's gonna, best he can do is a spare. So Saranac is gonna win this first game. Saranac is gonna win this first game. They've got 1,000. Chipola's got 1,004. Here's McDaniel. He's going to have an open in the 10th. Here's Chipola. Chipola spares. So unless Renadette completely falls apart, Chipola can get a another 10 to get 10-15. Renadette needs to get a spare here. Renadette needs to get a spare. If he gets a split, he gets the strike. So Renadette comes through, and Saranac will win this one. Here's Chipola. He gets 7. So Mavor finished with that 231 for the Cougars. Laramie with that 226. McDaniel with a 194. Chipola 30 pins under his average with a 130. $10-12 for Northeastern. 10-40 with one more ball to be thrown. So it'll be about 30, close to a 40 pin win here for Saranac. Renadette will miss his spare. It gives him a 133. 10-40 will be the final for the Chiefs. A 27 pin win for the Chiefs. And we'll pick up on the B game in just a moment. Charlie Martin strikes to start things in the second game. We moved over to the B match. We have Bayshard. Let's see here. Excuse me, McDonald, Ryan McDonald. Chappell for Saranac. Chappell spares. And McDonald will get 8 for the frame. The Saranac Bees, Evan Holland has a 132. Wesley Chappell, there's Holland right now. Holland gets, looks like 5 pins or maybe 4. 5 pins. There's Jesse Guerin for the Cougars. He gets 4 pins. Let's see, Evan Holland, 132 average. Wesley Chappell, 134. Zach Babby, a 136. Justin Gordon, a 145. And Cliff Berg, a 146. A spare for Chappell. On the Northeastern side, Guerin gets an open. Here's Babby up for Saranac. Ryan Baker carries a 157 for the Cougars. Jarrett Borey, a 148. Charlie Martin a 132, Jesse Guerin a 122, and Ryan McDonald a 110. Lori gets 8 pins. And Babby will spare. Now here's Bori. And then Bori will get a little action off the wall to pick up the spare. Doing it the hard way, just showing off there. He could have knocked him down with the ball, but decided to use the wall instead. Here's Gordon. Captain Gordon. And Gordon gets 7 in his first ball of the second game. Bring up Baker for the Cougars. And Baker gets 9 pins on his first ball. Gordon spares. Nice spare there by Gordon. Here's Baker. He's covered it. That'll bring up Berg for the Chiefs. Moved it. But it just went backwards. Here's Chappell. Chappell gets 5. Berg looking to pick up his spare, and it looks like he'll do it. Yes, he does. Chappell. Chappell gets 8 for the frame. Here's Martin. Martin gets 7 on his first ball. He's working on a strike. Holland up now for the Chiefs. And Holland gets 9 pins. Martin will miss his spare, miss them all in fact. And Holland will miss the spare. Here's McDonald, gets 3 pins. Brings up Babby for the Chiefs. Babby with a strike. McDonald misses the spare. Here's Gordon. And Gordon gets a split. Yeah, he picked up his spare nicely last time. See how he meets this challenge. Here's Guerin. And Guerin will put it in the gutter. Gordon will miss his spare. You get 2 of them though. Trying to kick it off the wall, but wasn't enough oomph on that one to get much wall action. Berg will go. And Berg will strike. There's Guerin looking for his spare, and he gets it. Jesse Guerin gets the spare, the 0-10 way. The 0-10 spare. There's Martin in the third for the Cougars. He picks off 5 pins. Bori. And Bori strikes. Martin misses his spare. Good try. There's Baker for the Cougars, and he strikes. A strike for Baker. It's Ryan Baker. There's Ryan McDonald. Ryan McDonald with the strike. Now Chapel. Chapel strikes. Garand up for the Cougars. It's 8 pins. And up Holland. And Holland spares. Excuse me, Garand spares. Here's Holland. Holland strikes. Here's Borey, who's working on a strike. And he gets 8 in his first ball in the third. Babby, both Chiefs have struck so far. Babby will not strike. This is 7 pin. Borey. Borey will cover the spare. There's Baker. Now Babby's coming. Baker gets 6 on his first ball. Babby will get 4 for the frame.
You done already?
And he was working on a strike, so that hurts. Here's Baker, and he'll miss the spare. Nice try. Here's Gordon for the Chiefs. Gordon strikes. Chapel. It's 9 pins as he starts the 5th. There's Berg wrapping up the 4th with a strike. Strike for Cliff Berg. And Chapel's going to miss it. Now here's Martin. Martin strikes. Double check just to make sure.
What do you have here now?
Holland.
I got a 97, 110, 160.
Ball hit the floor hard, not quite sure what happened. Here's McDonald, goes to the left again.
What do you get this game? You're going to move up a little bit. You got an 86? You got a 90? Huh?
Here's Holland, he's working on a strike, so if he can spare here, nothing lost. Nothing lost. McDonald gets a few more, ends up with 5 for the frame. Actually 6. There's Babby. Babby picks off 3. Garand. Lane 13 for the Cougars. He picks off probably 4. Babby spares. And Guerin will also spare. Moves up Gordon for Saranac. And he strikes. Now Borey for Northeastern. Leaves the 10 pin. Berg leaves just the 7. And Borey will go in the gutter. Berg misses his 7. Now Baker for the Cougars as Martin gets set to start the 5th. Martin gets 9 pins, Baker got 8. There's Baker and he spares. Here's Martin and he spares. So a spare to end the 4th and a spare to start the 5th. Now Chappell up for Saranac and McDonald up for the Cougars. Almost strike for McDonald. There's Chappell. And McDonald misses. Holland up for Saranac, Guerin for Northeastern. Holland strikes. And here's Guerin, and he will pick off 8 of them. A late drop gives him 8. Now Babby. And Babby leaves the 10 pin. Guerin spares. Babby spares. Borey. Leaves the 6-10. Now Gordon for Saranac. A bouncing strike. Borey will miss them all, or both of them. Well, here's Berg. And Berg leads a baby split. Baker gets 9 pins, leaves the 7. Berg gets 9 for the frame. Here's Baker, and he will cover his spare. And Martin is up in the 6th for the Cougars. Got a late drop on a 7, so he avoids a 7-10 split. Leaves just a 10. Now Chapel. Chapel gets 7 pins. Martin will drop it in the gutter. We'll have to reset the counter. And Chapel spares. There's McDonald. Seems to consistently pull it to the left. That would look like it would be correctable. McDonald, and he goes to the left again. Leaves 2 pins. Holland up for the Cougars, for the Chiefs. And Holland puts it in the gutter. Now Garand up for Northeastern as he awaits Renadette. There's Garand. Gets 7 pins. Gets us to Babby again, and Babby will get them all. Now Gordon, who's working on a triple, steps in for the Chiefs. Garand going for a spare, and he will pick, no, off the back pin. Gordon with a triple, gets a 4-bagger. There's Berg. Berg gets 7 pins. Here's Borey. Borey leaves a 10 pin. Berg leaves the back pin. Bowie misses his spare. Martin starting the 7th frame. He gets 7 on his first ball. Now Baker finishing up the 6th. And he strikes. Baker spares. Excuse me, Martin spares. Here's Chapel. And here's McDonald. Strike for Ryan McDonald. Chapel with just 1 pin down here in the 7th. Almost picks up his spare. Here's Garand. Garand gets 3 on his first ball. There's Holland. And he strikes. Garand with a spare. So here's Babby.
You know what I'm doing with the whip? Leaving you fight over it with the stick. ain't gonna be.
Now Bory. And Bory leads a 10 pin. Babby picks up the spare. And Bory will miss his. These Cougar kids know that they're going to be on hometown cable, and they miss something like that. It's a long walk back. There's Baker. He gets 9 as Gordon gets 9 in his first ball in the 7th. Gordon hooks, but just misses. Baker picks it up. Berg gets 7. Here's Chappell. Chappell strikes. Berg going for a spare, and he picks it up. There's Holland. Leaves a 6-10. Here's Martin for the Cougars. Charlie Martin with a strike.
Got those things on. No.
They're not even that tall.
Good. They're not tall.
You're not 5
Holland with the spare. McDonald up for the Cougars. Consistently going to the left. I think that was a easily improvable problem. Here's Babby and McDonald. They both miss their spares. Well, excuse me, that was Babby's first ball, so he's going to shoot his spare now. Looks like about an 80-pin advantage for Saranac. McDonald misses the spare. Now Garand up for the Cougars. Garand picks off 5. And this is Gordon for Saranac. 9 pins. And Guerin spares. Nice spare for Jesse Guerin. Justin Gordon. And he'll cover his spare. There's Bory. Bory gets 7 pins. This is Berg. And Berg strikes. Bory. Spares. Martin. Martin gets 8 pins. Here's Baker now for the Cougars. Baker finishing up the 8th. Martin is in the 9th. Baker gets 9 pins. Leaves the 10th. Martin will get 9 for the frame. And Baker will miss his spare. And McDonald right to head pin. When he hits that head pin, he gets a lot of action. He can avoid going to the left all the time. There's Chapel. Chapel gets 5. Now Guerin. Guerin gets 7. We're in the 9th frame. Chapel will, sent it sideways, and it wouldn't fall. There's Guerin just missing. There's Holland. Holland strikes. This is Borey. And Borey strikes. Oh, Babby up for the Chiefs. Babby gets 6 pins on his first ball. Baker strikes. Chapel up to start the 10th frame. There's Babby. Babby gets 7 for the frame. We have a couple more bowlers here, Gordon and Berg for Saranac. So, holding off on starting the 10th. There's Gordon. Gordon misses. Waiting for Berg. Wish Chapel would get up there and start the dinger in the frame. Now he does. Berg gets 7 on his first ball. He was working on a strike. There's Chapel. He opened in the 9th, but he's got a strike to start the 10th. Berg gets 8 for the frame.
He's really crafty. He's always feeling crafty too, and I was the same way.
There's Chapel. 9 on his second ball in the 10th. Martin gets 8 on his first ball. .817, .893. So Saranac is going to take this B match. Martin picks up the spare. There's Chapel. Puts it in the gutter. That gives him 19 for the frame and a 127. Martin's last ball will get 7 pins. He'll get a 146. So 146 for Martin. 127 for Chapel. Holland picks off 7 pins. Martin carries a 132 average, so He's 14 pins above his average. Holland, Chapel, that is. Chapel carries a 134 average. Here's Holland. Holland gets 2. McDonald gets 6 on his first ball in the 10th. Well, Holland finishes with a 164. Holland has 32 pins above his 132 average. There's Babby. And McDonald. Well, let's see. McDonald gets a 98, which is right about 12 lower than his 110 average. Babby let's see, Holland had, as I said, 32 pins over his average. There's Guerin. Babby spares in the 10th. Well, Babby will be quite a bit below his 136. I'll do it for Babby. Gives him a 133. There's only 3 below his 136. Guerin gets the spare. Gordon up for the Chiefs. He's got a 167. He could get a 197. He doesn't have a mark, but he needs to strike out. He's going to get 7 pins in his first ball. Guerin gets 7 pins on his last ball. So I'll give Guerin 142, 143. Gordon will get an open in the 10th. Gordon finishes with a 176, 31 pins better than his 145 average. Berg gets 9 pins. Babby, as I said, 3 pins under his average. Here's Borey. He gets a strike. And Berg picks up the spare. Borey carries a 148 average. He's working on a double. Oh, and he leaves the 6, 7, 10. Berg's last ball will knock down 9. We're going to 160. Well, Berg 14 pins over his average. Borey gets 9 for the frame. Actually 19 for the frame. There's Borey a 160. Here's Baker. Baker leaves the 10, 7 pin. Baker left a 7 pin. Borey 12 pins over his average. Oh wait. Borey 12 pins over his average. Berg 14 over his. Here's Baker, who spares. He carries a 157. Baker's got a 165 already, so he's above his average. He gets 8, so it gives him, I believe, a 173. So Saranac takes the second game of the B match. We'll be right back with the girls match. Okay, we are set to start the third game. And it's the Saranac Mischiefs girls against the Northeastern girls. This is Lavarne Way. And she gets 9 pins in her first ball to bring up Cassie Roberts. Roberts with a strike. Roberts finishing a previous game with a 204. With Megan Sorrell getting a 202. Sorrell finishing with 5 strikes in a row for the Cougars. Laura Lee Para gets everything but the 7. Here's Lavarne Way. She'll miss her spare. Amanda Lavarne Way carries a 105 average. Nicole Butchino up now carries a 115. Hillary Miner a 130. Sarah Masconis 149, and Brianne Birkenhagen a 157. For the Cougars, Cassie Roberts carries a hefty 193. Danielle Tierney 155. Megan Sorrell 150. Laura Lee Para, who's up right now, carries a 138. And we're going to be blocked out from the Cougar girl, or not from the Cougar girl, but whoever's bowling in this lane, I guess. Butchino gets a strike, and she's excited about it. And Kelsey Diso, who's up on the girls' team tonight. She carries a 123 average, and she gets 9 pins on her first ball. See who's up here for Hillary Miner for Saranac. It's 1 pin on her first. Diso will go to the right. In her hometown K-Bill debut, she gets us an open. As soon as I saw Diso, I said, that's got to be a Diso girl. You live in the North Country long enough, you see people and you know exactly what family they come from. Here's a strike for Sorrell. That's 6 in a row, but the first one of this game. And Mascunas gets a strike. There's Danielle Tierney. Tierney gets 7 pins in her first ball. Birkenhagen up now. And she strikes. Tierney gets 8 for the frame. Bring up Roberts. And the 10th, lane 10. Roberts has doubled to start the third game. 1, 2, 3, 4 marks for Saranac in the first frame. 1, 2 marks for the Cougars. There's Para. And gets 9 in her first ball. Thus far, let's see here. We've been handed the sheet here. This is the sheet. Cassie Roberts has a 232 and a 204. Para has a 136 and a 153. Diso a 101 and a 99. Sorrell a 123 and then that 202. And Tierney has a 147 and a 142. Para Sarah will pick up her spare. Laverne Way has a, let's see, a 109 and 80. Butchino a 68 and a 104. Minor a 121 and a 94. Mascunas a 99 and a 175. There's Diso. He gets 7. Laverne Way up now for the Chiefs. As he goes to the right. Gets 7 on her first ball. Mascunas 99 and 175, and Birkenhagen a 127 and a 192. Cougars took the first game 9-12 to 750 as Laverne Way throws her second ball. And game 2, Cougars won 973 to 871, so they have a healthy lead for total pins. Cassie? Thank you. Here's Sorrell. And Sorrell gets 9. That puts an end to her 6-strike streak. There's Butchino. Butchino had that strike in the first. And Sorrell misses. And Butchino will get a double gutter. A double gutter. But we won't tell. It'll be just she and me and whoever happens to be looking at the television set right now. Tierney gets 5. And Minor gets 8. And Tierney will almost got some action off that wall. Good try there, almost knocked the 10 down. There's Minor, and Minor will go to the right of her spare. Look good for 93% of the trip down the alley. Here's Laverne Way. Gets 3 pins. Mascunas gets 3 pins. As we said earlier, this is another busy, hectic day for Hometown Cable. When we leave here, the Saranac Northeastern Bowling will be going to Peru for Peru NAC wrestling. So we go from the bowling alley to the wrestling mat. Mascunas, and this is viewer-supported television. So if you enjoy this, appreciate all the running around and the late nights. We need your support to keep this programming on the air. It's the only way we're going to stay on the air is if a few more people catch on. Just a handful of faithful viewers, and if we could double that, we could do a lot more. There's Birkenhagen with 8 pins. Birkenhagen misses her spare. Laverne Way gets 9 for the frame. Here's Roberts, who has a double. Has 200 plus games going. And she triples. There's a 193 average. There are a few boys in the league that carry a better average. Butchino gets 9 pins. Para, it's 8. Yeah. Just chatting there off camera about the Para picks up her spare. The Bartolo Cologne trade today on this January 15th. El Duque going to the Expos. Cologne, I assume, going to the Yankees. I quickly read the email that the Expos sent me about 12:15. Reading my email, I found out there was a press conference at 1 o'clock. So, well, I don't think I'm going to make that one. And if I had made that one, I wouldn't be here. So, covering this bowling is more important than covering the press conference at Olympic Stadium. But so I know El Duque was involved in it. I know Bartolo Colon is gone, and I assume Cologne, as Diesel misses her spare, Cologne is going, I assume, going to the Yankees, but everybody will know by the time this is shown. In fact, it'll be close to spring training by the time this is shown. Mascunas picks off 7. Sorrell gets 9. With a spare. Sorrell will spare.
Come on, Danielle, right out there. Come on, dear. We didn't have a big button.
Here's Tierney. Tierney gets,
Right in the middle. Go get it.
it's like 7. Birkenhagen gets 8. Tierney, she's got it. Yep. Danielle Tierney, 7th grader, picks up the spare. There's Birkenhagen, and she'll spare. Roberts working on a triple. 4-bagger for Cassie Roberts. We have LaVarnway for Saranac. She leaves 10. Excuse me, 6-10. Leaves a 6-10. And Laura Lee Para. Seven won't fall. Good try. There's LaVarnway, and she's got it. LaVarnway picks up the spare. Para going for the 7-pin. We're in the 4th frame. And Para spares. There's Bucciano. Seven pins. There's Diesel. And Diesel gets Diesel got 8 pins. There's Bucciano. And he's going to miss him. Diesel Mike, nope. He gets 9 for the frame. Let's check that running score. 373 to 389 after 3. There's Minor. Whoops. Leads a 6-7-10. Sorrell, meantime, gets 9 pins. Miner's going to go right between them. Sorrell will cover, yes. There's Tierney. It's the 4-6-7 split. Sarah Mascunas gets 1 pin. Tierney gets 2 of the 3, goes for the wood. Mascunas, and she'll get some back action, gets, I believe, 7 for the frame. Drum roll, please. Yep. North Houston has jumped in the lead. And here's Lavarnway. She's going to miss. And Birkenhagen gets a strike. Takes the strikes in stride, showing Roberts how to do it there. Asked her if she saw that one. Roberts working on a 4-bagger with a ball here in the 5th, and another strike. 5 in a row for Cassie Roberts. And meanwhile, Amanda Lavarnway gets 8 pins for the frame. Oh, I missed her first ball. There's Para. Para strikes. Butchino, curve back, nope. Gets 5 on her first ball. There's Diso, curves at the last moment, gets 7 on her first ball. Butchino. One after the 10 pin, deliberately. She didn't want those other 4. Diso will miss her spare. Now Minor for Saranac for the Mischiefs. Minor gets 9 pins. Here's Sorrell. Sorrell gets 9 pins. Minor going for her spare. And she will pick it up. There's Sorrell. And Sorrell covers it nicely. Now we got Mascunas and Tierney. Tierney for the Cougars in lane. Whoop. Stayed on this side of the line, didn't cross. Mascunas gets 5. Tierney stayed on this side, did not to go across the line. She's got double wood to try to pick up. And she's going to miss it. Now Mascunas has 5 pins standing. And she gets 4 of them. Lavarn Way. And Birkenhagen gets 8. Lavarn Way. Somehow we missed Lavarn Way. We were watching Birkenhagen and Roberts in the last frame and missed Lavarn Way. Pay more attention here. Here's Birkenhagen and she covers the spare. Lavarn Way was a doable spare, but you have to hit it just right. Here's she's got 4 of them standing. She's gonna miss it. She's gonna miss it. Roberts working on 5 strikes in a row. Last time we were here, she had 6 in a row to start the 3rd game. She's got 6 in a row to start the 3rd game tonight. There's Butchino. And Butchino hoping, trying to bounce it down. Hoping to bounce the gym, the bowling alley, not the gym, the bowling alley, and get it to fall, but it didn't work. Here's Para. Para gets 8. There's Butchino, and she's gonna miss it. Para covers it. Now minor for Saranac, and she leaves the 10 pin. I'll bring up Diso. And Diso gets 6.
Kelsey right after.
Minor will miss it. Just barely fell off the lane.
Tucker, elbow.
There's Diso. Gets 3. And Mascunas. Brings up Sorrell. Working on a spare. Leaves double wood. Sorrell 150 average. Mascunas a 149 average. He gets 8 for the frame. Sorrell with a tough spare to pick up. Followed it in, and she does. Hits it right direct. Hits it right on the head and follows the ball, follows it in. Gotta hit it right on because that ball's gotta follow through. There's Birkenhagen. She strikes. And Tierney gets 9.
We'll get it right at it.
Tierney gets 9 on her first ball. Roberts up with 6 in a row. Cassie Roberts will wait for Tierney. And Tierney will cover her spare. There's Roberts. And Roberts to the right, too much. Ball wouldn't break. So now she has a tough spare to pick up. She got a 1, 2, 4, 10. And she will, miss the head pin. Misses the head pin, so her string of 6 in a row comes to an end with a split. Lavarn Way. Puts it in the ditch. And Para drops it down there. Ball curves to the head pin and takes out 9 of them. Varnway 105 average, Butchino 115. Varnway gets 6 for the frame. Minor 130, Maskunis 149, Birkenhagen 157. Para's gonna miss. No, ball comes back. Knuckleball. Went right and left and straightened out. Averages for the Cougars: Cassie Roberts 193, Danielle Tierney 155, just a 7th grader, second best average on the team. Megan Sorrell 150, Laura Lee Para 138, and Kelsey Disa 123. Butchino gets 8 pins on her first ball. And brings up Disa for the Cougars. And Disa's gonna go to the right. One for the spare first. Now she'll get the 9 now on the next ball. Butchino misses her spare. Diso gets 6 more, I believe. Yep, get a 7 for the frame. Meanwhile, Minor gets 7 in her first ball. Here's Sorrell. Sorrell right in the pocket, but she got 7.
If I got a 5, I got a 501.
Minor will miss her spare. Sorrell will miss her spare. She manages to smile.
I had my last game, you had a 164, your average is 153. I think
Maskunis.
that's your average. If I calculated it right in my head.
8 on her first ball. So here's Tierney.
Gotta find him first.
Tierney clears out most of the back row. We're in the 7th frame. Maskunis gets 9. Here's Tierney. Tierney leaves 2. So we'll be starting the 8th frame as soon as Birkenhagen finishes up the 7th. And she gets 8 on her first ball. So here's Lavarnway. Gets 6. And Birkenhagen misses her spare. Roberts coming off the open has a 172 going into the 8th. There's Lavarnway. She's gonna miss her spare. There's Roberts. Roberts starts it off. Boy, the strike in the 8th looks like she will definitely, it gives her a 182. She'll definitely have another 300 game. Excuse me, another 200 game. There's Para. Para gets 8 pins. Butchino might have it. Might have it. She does. That makes her happy for the time being. Now Para. Might. Yep, she's got it. And in the meantime, Minor gets a late hit for the 10. She gets a strike. Diesel. Diesel gets the 10 pin again. Gives the camera a look out of the corner of her eye. Mascunas keeps the string going for Saranac. There's jubilation on the Saranac ranks. There's Diso, picks up for a spare, so no harm. Okay, currently it's 6:27 for Saranac, 7:37 for Northeastern, so it looks like Northeastern's going to pick up all four in the girls' match. Birkenhagen strikes, Sorrell leaves a 6-7, not the infamous 7-10, just a 6-7. Anybody could pick that one up. Meanwhile, Roberts will bowl the first ball in the 9th frame as Sorrell misses her spare. Roberts will start the 9th before Tierney finishes the 8th, and Roberts with the strike. So she's got a 600 plus series. Tierney gets 6 pins. So Roberts has already got a 202 before she throws another ball. Para. And Tierney misses her spare. Para picks up a strike. 794 to 637. 4 Saranac bowlers struck in the 8th. Diesel got 6 pins, leaves the picket fence on the left. Here's Lavarnway. She'll get just the 7 pin. Starting the 9th. There's Diesel. Diesel in the 9th. And she's going to miss it. She already got those. Lavarnway gets 7 for the frame. 5:40. This game is running late here. I should be on my way to Peru right now. Sorrell banks it off the wall to get to 10 and get the strike. And I'll bring up Butchino. Butchino goes Brooklyn, gets 7 pins on her first ball.
Come on, Danielle, reach right out there.
Tierney.
Well, I'm going to be there anyway.
Tierney gets the strike. There's Butchino. Butchino gets 9 for the frame. So Lavarnway will start the 10th in lane number 9 for Saranac. And she'll get 5 pins on her first ball. She's going to be quite a bit under her 105 average, I think. There's Minor. Saranac running slow in this lane number 10 here. They're running way behind. Lavarnway, oh, she needed that spare. She gets 9 for the frame, gives her an 81. And 6 for the frame for Minor. Minor just finishes there. As soon as Butchino gets done, she'll move right back over here. Butchino gets 6 on her first ball. Mescunas gets 8. But you know, would rather not talk about that one.
Yeah, I know.
Mascunas
Fire up the buggy.
gets the spare. So 83 for Butchino. Here's Minor and Birkenhagen. Minor gets about 2. And Birkenhagen got Minor got 3, Birkenhagen got 8. And she's going to miss her spare. So Saranac and sending nobody into extra innings here. 9 for the frame for Minor. Here's Roberts. Gets another strike. Another strike for Roberts. She's had 9 strikes in a split. Here's Mascunas. She leaves a 10 pin. Now Roberts. Roberts. Nope. Gets 7 on her first ball. Well, it gives her a 229, 239, 246. Well, she could get a 249. Birkenhagen and Mascunas misses. 248 for Roberts. 248, so she's pretty close to 700. There's Para. Two 248 and a 204, and then she had 230 something, I believe, in her first game. So she's got a 675 or higher. Birkenhagen misses her spare. 684 what we're hearing. Para misses her spare. 684 series for Cassie Roberts. So let's see what the totals are for. Well, let's look at Diso first. Diso's going to go to the right, pick off about 3 pins. 81, 83, 110, 116, and 145. Birkenhagen with a 145. None of the Chiefs hit their average in the third game. Diso. Let's see, we got 248 and Para 169. Diso 83. Sorrell, it's 8 pins on her first ball. Diso 40 pins below her average. Para 31 pins over her average. Sorrell is going to get an opened and the third game gives her a 144. That's 6 pins below her 150 average. Now we have Tierney. Tierney's going to be quite a bit below her 155 average.
Get in, y'all. Come on, go get it.
Who's got, should be in the low 100s. She's got a 99 right now. 99, she's got a 106 right now. So I'll give her a 102. after 9. She's got 112 plus her fill ball here.
Are you supposed to be bowling? Are you supposed to be bowling?
So she gets a 121. 938 to 761. Northeastern girls sweep 4 from Saranac. And that's it from the Mart. Thanks for watching and supporting Hometown Cable's efforts.
I don't think you really want to do it.